How are you lovely transit-haters doing today? My name is John. Welcome to another wonderful episode of the Zombie Storyline Q&A. In this series, I take your questions about the zombie storyline and I answer them. Whether it's a big, a small, or a simple question, I'm more than happy to answer it. So leave your questions down below. Maybe I'll see them and maybe I'll answer them. You may even be in the next episode. Now real fast, if you want, you can also tweet me with your questions at JohnnyJ25. A link to my Twitter is down below. I'm always on Twitter and it's one of the best ways to get in touch with me. So be sure you check that out. A link down below. Without further ado though, let's begin the episode. Now today what we're going to do is a quickie episode. So rather than take multiple questions and answer them, what I do during a quickie episode is I take one question and I answer it as in-depth as possible. Today what I have for you is a question from Harry Bond who asks, in what point in Richtofen's life does he contract madness and what causes this? By the way, keep up the good work. Thank you, Harry. So I'm glad that you said Richtofen contracted madness, because that's something that many people don't realize. Richtofen, while not really all that sane, hasn't always been mad. Let me read you his World at War character description. Beware the dock, a message that's scrawled across walls in every town under Axis control. Starvation may cripple you, dysentery may wreck you, and gunfire may rip the flesh off your bones, but beware the dock. This is Dr. Richtofen, known affectionately as the Butcher, to his victims as they scream in agony moments before he snuffs out their life. All throughout his career, Richtofen has been at the forefront of torture and information extraction research. Richtofen is an incurable sociopath. He sees no moral distinction between natural death and murder. The victim is the victim, regardless of how their demise manifests itself. Richtofen has a collection of stuffed animals, most of them posed in positions of terror at the instant before their death. So Richtofen's insane, and Richtofen's crazy. And Richtofen has always been this way, but he's always been sort of a functioning member of society in a way. He just sort of did his work. He was the doctor, he was the butcher. This was the work that the Nazis had him do. And he was able to do this job well because he didn't really see a moral distinction between killing somebody as well as killing his patients. So the man is not right in the head. However, Richtofen doesn't become totally insane until he touches the pyramid. Listen to this radio from the map Moon.
Entry 42. Date, January 4, 1940. Dr. Schuster and I, despite mounting pressure from Dr. Maxis, have continued working on the matter transference prototype. We have made great strides in the last 30 days and are ready for our first human subject. If our calculations are correct, we will send a test subject, me, to the receptacle station sitting 30 yards away and behind a cinder block wall.
Are you certain you want to do this, Dr. Richtofen?
Nein, Dr. Schuster. But this must be done. Quickly, put in your earplugs and power up the machine. Is there a power outage? Why is it so dark? I feel almost weightless. How very unexpected.
So we believe it was at this moment here when Richtofen goes up to the MDT pyramid and he touches it. Now you can't really tell from any sort of change in voice or change in demeanor, like there aren't any physical signs. But we can tell that he starts to become more and more insane as you listen to him in future radios and you see the way he behaves. Initially, he wasn't very happy with Dr. Maxis. Dr. Maxis sort of told him to put his teleporter to the side and said, this isn't important, we need to be focusing on other things right now. This made Richtofen very angry. In addition to that, Dr. Maxis had to slow down production of the Wonder Woman. So Richtofen wasn't happy, but he kept working, and he basically worked on the pyramid, he worked on the teleporters in secret away from Dr. Maxis. Once he went through the teleporter though, and he touched the pyramid, this is when everything starts to change. This is when the voices in his head begin to appear, and over time these voices begin to get louder and louder and louder, and he began to learn more about the Vril and Element 115 and the power that it held and the potential, the power, the possibility that he can become an all-powerful being if he's able to get inside this pyramid. And the fact that these voices continue to tell him and nag him and urge him to kill Dr. Maxis slowly allows him to descend into madness. Where Richtofen was initially just crazy? Once he touches the pyramid, he begins to become insane, absolutely psychopathic, truly a monster. And this is where we really start to see the evil side of him come out as he enslaves the people of the Vril and creates Griffin Station and try to take over the world. So when does Richtofen become insane? Once he touches the MDT pyramid. So that's going to wrap things up for this week's episode of the Zombie Storyline Q&A. If you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a like, possibly subscribe. I upload multiple episodes of the Zombie Storyline Q&A every week, and if you enjoyed this one, I'm sure you'll love the next one. If you want, you can leave your questions down below, or you can tweet me with them at JohnnyJ25. Be sure to follow me while you're there because I'm always checking my Twitter, and it's one of the best ways to get in touch with me. I'm going to go though, have a great day, and bye.